What if I told you that even Hades, the stoic king of the underworld, fears what lies hidden just beneath his own throne? For eons, we have believed we knew the tales of Olympus, the wars of Titans, and the divisions of the cosmos. We know of Zeus on his celestial peak, Poseidon in his oceanic depths, and Hades in his silent kingdom of shadow. But the greatest secrets are not kept in the heavens or the seas. They are buried in the deepest, most forgotten corners of existence. This is the story of the throne beneath the throne, a relic of cosmic terror forged by a mad titan, and the devastating truth it holds for the Lord of the dead. A truth so profound, it threatens to unravel not just the reign of the gods, but eternity itself. The underworld is a kingdom of profound silence, a realm where memory fades and time itself seems to stand still. Here, upon a throne carved from a single piece of black obsidian, sits Hades. His presence is as vast and unchanging as his domain, a figure of solemn authority, feared by mortals and gods alike. He is the keeper of finality, the embodiment of the end. Yet, beneath the very foundations of his power, beneath the polished stone of his grand palace, a secret has been waiting since the dawn of the new age. A secret buried by time, fate, and the shifting bedrock of the cosmos. This secret takes the form of another throne, a second seat of power far more ancient than Olympus and its gleaming halls. It was forged not by Hephaestus's masterful hands, but by the desperate, paranoid will of Cronus, the Titan king, in the final days of his reign. As he devoured his own children, consumed by the fear of a prophecy foretelling his downfall, Cronus poured his terror and his dominion over time into a single, terrifying artifact. This throne was not a symbol of rule, it was a weapon of absolute knowledge. A test of divinity designed to reveal the ultimate, unavoidable end of any immortal who dared to claim it. Cronus intended it as a final curse upon his usurpers, a dark mirror that would show them their own destruction. But when Zeus and his siblings rose up, casting their father into the abyss of Tartarus, the throne was lost, forgotten in the cataclysm that reshaped the universe. The realms were divided, and Hades, unknowingly, built his entire kingdom directly above this sleeping prophecy. For millennia, the throne of Cronus slept, its power contained deep within the earth. Hades ruled his domain, oblivious to the cosmic dread slumbering just feet below him. He managed the ceaseless flow of souls, maintained the grim balance of life and death, and carved out a kingdom of stark, silent beauty. His obsidian throne was the anchor of his realm, a symbol of his lonely, unending duty. The underworld was stable, predictable, until the day the silence was broken. A tremor, unlike any the underworld had ever known, shook the palace to its foundations. It was not the struggle of a titan in Tartarus or the footfall of a wandering monster. It felt deeper, more fundamental. The polished floor before Hades's throne groaned, and a spiderweb of cracks spread across the stone. From the fissures, a strange golden light pulsed, casting flickering alien shadows across the Hall of Judgment. The glow was not warm like the sun of the mortal world, nor was it the fire of the Phlegethon River. It was ancient, potent, and humming with a power that unsettled even the king of the dead. Driven by a mixture of regal duty and a deep gnawing dread he had never before experienced, Hades rose. He descended from his obsidian seat and approached the fractured floor. The chasm that had opened was not a natural fissure, but a deliberate, almost beckoning entryway into a chamber below. He stepped into the unknown, leaving the familiar gloom of his hall for the suffocating presence of the light. There, in a small, perfectly square chamber of bare rock, sat the source of the disturbance. It was another throne, smaller than his own, crafted from a strange golden metal that seemed to drink the very shadows around it. It pulsed with a terrifying energy, a quiet hum that vibrated in the bones and whispered of forgotten ages. Carved into its armrest in the old tongue of the Titans was an inscription. Hades, reader of all languages living and dead, understood its meaning instantly. To sit here is to see the end of all gods. Hades, the god who faced legions of the dead without flinching, who bargained with fates and stared down heroes, felt a tremor of true fear. This was not a challenge of strength or will, but a challenge against destiny itself. To know the end, was that not his domain? To see it applied to his own immortal kind, to his brothers, to Olympus itself, it was a temptation as seductive as it was horrifying. The throne called to him, a siren song of ultimate knowledge. His duty was to the dead, to finality. What was a greater finality than this? After a moment of profound hesitation, the silent king reached out. The instant his fingers brushed against the cold, golden metal, the universe collapsed around him. It was not a physical destruction, but a tidal wave of visions that crashed over his consciousness. He saw Olympus, the eternal mountain, crumbling into dust. He saw Zeus, his mighty brother, the king of the gods, entangled and choked by his own lightning, his power turning on itself. He saw Poseidon's oceans boiling away into steam, leaving behind a cracked, dead seabed littered with the bones of leviathans. He saw Athena's wisdom turning to madness, Apollo's light extinguished, and Artemis's moon falling from the sky. And then he saw himself, the last one, standing alone in a silent, dead cosmos, the sole god in a universe devoid of divinity, his own kingdom of the dead now the only realm left, an eternal king reigning over an eternity of nothing. The sheer horror of the vision threw him back. Hades scrambled away from the throne, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The very walls of the chamber seemed to scream with the echoes of what he had witnessed, the prophecy now alive and bound to his knowledge. The underworld itself reacted to its master's terror, shaking violently as he ascended back to his hall. He collapsed onto his own obsidian throne, but it offered no comfort. It now felt like a fragile perch above a chasm of absolute doom. When Persephone, his queen, found him, she was startled. She had never seen her husband so shaken, his usual stoic composure shattered. He was pale, trembling, his eyes wide with a terror she could not comprehend. He looked at her, his voice a broken whisper. There are thrones not meant to be claimed. Terrified of the knowledge he now carried and what it could mean if any other god were to discover it, Hades acted swiftly. He used his immense power over the earth and stone of his realm to seal the chasm. He buried the chamber deep, far deeper than it had been before, reinforcing the foundations of his palace with layers of impenetrable rock and shadow. He locked the path to the Throne of Cronus, hoping to entomb the prophecy forever. But knowledge once gained cannot be forgotten. Through the long centuries that followed, he could still feel it. A faint, rhythmic pulse in the stone beneath him, a cosmic heartbeat counting down to the end he had foreseen. It was a constant gnawing reminder, a secret he bore entirely alone. As ages turned, the world above changed. The age of heroes gave way to the age of men. Mortals, once so reverent, began to forget. Prayers to Olympus grew faint, then ceased altogether. The gods faded, their power waning as belief in them withered. And as the divine light dimmed across the world, the ground beneath Hades' throne began to tremble once more. The faint golden glow returned, seeping through hairline cracks in the floor. The whispers from below grew louder, no longer just a pulse, but a voice, calling his name. The prophecy was awakening. Persephone saw the light and pleaded with him, sensing the return of the ancient dread. But Hades knew this was not a choice. This was the fulfillment of a destiny he had been cursed to witness. In the final quiet moments of the Age of Gods, Hades rises from his obsidian throne one last time. He is no longer the dread king of the underworld, but the solemn executor of a cosmic verdict. He looks down at the glowing cracks, the golden light a promise of an end to all things. A faint, grim smile touches his lips. Then perhaps, he whispers to the silent hall, the end has come full circle. With a final resonant rumble that shakes the entire realm of the dead, Hades steps off his dais and walks into the light, descending once more toward the hidden chamber, toward the throne that has waited for him since the beginning of the end. When all other gods are but forgotten myths, will Hades, the last god, finally sit upon the throne beneath the throne, and witness the death of eternity itself? For more videos like this and untold Greek myths, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.